Hey, it's Mr. Johns. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. I have been playing this quite a bit lately, and I just want to give you a quick update to the farm. Remember way back when I didn't have any of this? I just plopped a house here. No, this house was already here. This is the original farmhouse. That's what it was. And it's been so long now, I don't remember. I landscaped this. The barn and the house were there. I like the old classic farm look, but then all this I added landscape with some lighting, put a little shed over there on the corner. And so that was kind of the farm. Had an issue with some trees. They're hard. You can't just remove trees right here. They're blocking this pathway. After I took some government subsidies, I was able to purchase. I need to feed the dog. I was able to purchase a stump remover, tree remover. It's one of these. I think it's this one. It's really hard to keep track of all these things. Pretty sure that's what it is. And I was able to go in and grind those out. So I have. There's my pup. I wasn't able to smooth this out, but it is, hey boy, come here. There you go. So at least I have quick access without having to run through those trees. So, all right, so update. Over here, still my, just my lot, which I thought was going to be big enough forever. I'm already outgrowing it. Looks like the honey. I need to run some more honey to town. Over here, I put in a really cool shop. Now I can repair my vehicles right here, which is awesome. I don't have to run to town. I can just run all my vehicles right over here for repairs, which makes sense. You'd have your own mechanic or you do it yourself, right? So, and then I downloaded these vintage gas pumps. I just think diesel and petrol. So I just think that's kind of cool. My little shop over here. And then the animal part of the farm is here, and I thought maybe I would start bringing all my chemicals and just lining them up so I don't have to go to town to refill fertilizer, seed, etc. So I have not landscaped this whole area, but I did all this, and this is these are my 2 horses. Over here are my 2 sheep. I mean, eventually I hope they'll breed and I'll have more. I haven't really been paying that much attention to them. Horses require daily riding. You know, if the goal is as a farmer, is to raise the horses and increase the prices to sell, you have to increase their stamina by riding them every day and brush them to keep them clean so you can sell them. I really don't have that intention. At this point, they're just my horses, right? In fact, I'd like to give them a bigger place to hang out. But when I do ride them, I jump the fence, and we have the whole area to go cruise around. So there's wool that needs to be taken to someplace, to town, and this is where you leave their feed. And then over here are the chickens, and they are breeding very, very well. So I started with, 10. I think so. Maybe they've doubled in size, and so I keep this full. Still have 3,000 liters. So once I fill that, man, that just takes care of itself. So those are the animals, and I do plan. I was gonna just make this entire section instead of a lot. It was just big, and I was having a hard time keeping up, especially when I did sugar beets. It went bad before I could even get them all out of the ground. And it starts growing on one side before I'm even done planting the other side. So it's just really big. So I just thought I would make that the animal part of my farm. But now that I see how big it was, I do plan on having every kind of animal. And there's pigs and cows and I'm not sure what else, but not a lot. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with all that space. So also, let's give you a glimpse. Oh, no, let's show you my favorite part. Let's close that. On the other side of the street, I have started my collection of vehicles, and so added some covered parking, and just love these vehicles, which were all free downloads. And there's a couple modern ones, so I thought that'd be fun to take that thing out. And there's a like a nice off-road truck. And then there's my standard truck that I bought in the game, or got in the game. So there's the difference. That's a game vehicle versus, I don't know, people created vehicles, and I love the classics. So I do have enough room for 6 more, and hope to add as I go. So I think that's really cool to have kind of like my car collection across the street. Didn't take up any room for my farming vehicles. And over here, I just started parking these here because I am kind of running out of room. And I have almost $80 million in the bank with those subsidies. That is the secret for money, that's for sure. All you have to do is put up a sign that says government subsidies, and you start getting money just rolling in. And I can just relax a little bit. I still have to farm. I mean, the work hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is I'm not going to run out of money. But the work is the same exactly. So I like that. So if you're okay with that, it definitely changes the game. If you want to do the business side of it and then just have to survive and grow, which is kind of the whole point, I get it. But for me, I just want to learn how to do all this farming and keep up on it. And it's a job, man. I'm keeping busy. So the downside to buying all those new cars is that now when I scroll through, I have to scroll through each of those cars because they're all vehicles. So there's those 6 additional or whatever vehicles that I have. And then every tractor that I have, which I've bought more. So it takes a little bit longer to cycle through if you're looking for something. That's my point. So I have decided to do grass. It grows year round. And once you plant it, you're good. And then you have to run some equipment through it. And basically what I have is the equipment. What I normally do is line them up. Let me have to go back through those again. I line them up I have them lined up. So I have a grass pasture here and a grass pasture on the other side. And I just bounce back and forth between the two. And I have tractors hooked up to each implement. Now that I have the money, I'm just going to have a tractor hooked up to everything. So I don't have to be switching. And so when I'm ready for this guy to come mow, as a matter of fact, I'll check and see. I just have to run over here and see if it says, nope, still growing. So it's not quite ready. And so when it's ready, I'll run the mower, and then I think it's called the tender or something like that. Anyway, I don't know what they're called. I do them in order, and they just follow each other. And so the end result will be I haul away. So here's the baler. It turns in the grass into. I'll even show you because I cannot get this one to work. Turn on automatic drop. There we go. I cannot get this one to work with a hired helper. I don't know why. If it's too complicated or, but I have to run this myself. And so what I do is I just run down the middle of. There we go. It's going to start spitting it out, and see what it does is it makes a bale, spits it out, and then it starts over again collecting. Unfortunately, it leaves like a little trail also. Because while it's dropping the bale, it can't be collecting the hay. So, and I had someone explain to me the difference between hay and straw once, and now I can't remember. So I'm not a farmer. I'm a city kid. So then you have to lift that and turn around and go back. So because it leaves a little bit of that hay on the ground. Whoa, that was fast. Because it leaves some of the hay on the ground, you have to go back and not only pick up the hay bales, but then also so I'm going to drop that. You have to pick up the extra with this as well until the, let's say a little bit to the left there, buddy. Until the whole field is clear. So I'll do this and go up and down it looks like over there I need to rehire a dude. So when you have a guy sitting, after you quit the game, you have to always come back through to each of your hired help. And this he's the guy that picks up the bales. So once I have all the bales baled, I'll come through with this one. I do this manually as well. It's a lot of work, and I end up with about 10 maybe bales for this huge field, and then I have to run it all the way across town. the only place I can really find to sell the bales, and I make maybe $6,000. It's not a huge money making kind of thing, but it's let's start this guy too. I think this is like a windrow or something. It basically puts it into the rows so that the baler can come pick it up. So it's a process. The first one, I forget what it's called, but it fluffs it, it helps it dry out. So kind of fluffs it up so that the grass can dry into hay. And this guy comes by, puts it into rows, and then I come by with the baler and bale it, and then I come by and pick up the bales, and then you take them to town. So that is the process. And so as I look at at my farm, it's good to look at the top here. I am still all of these. I'm thinking about buying 72, but that'll be my next branch. You can see now I've got bees and horses and chickens and sheep. That's kind of cool. I also have my own gas pump there, so I can get gas, which is pretty sweet. And through this little map, you can see a lot of things. You can see what you've planted. You can also see the status of the ground right here. I'm always looking for orange. That means ready to harvest. And so it's a process. It's just so you have to look at those colors and go, okay, they're plowed, but nothing's planted. I've got 80, which is growing, and 75, which is growing, 77, which is grass. And so grass just kind of stays that color. And then have to switch over to the calendar and see, okay, what should I be doing in August? Well, I should be planting and harvesting canola. That's interesting. Canola is one of the few that you can plant and harvest the same month. It takes 12 months roughly, I guess, or 11 months to grow. So you can harvest it and then replant it pretty quick. But you have to pay attention to this calendar or you'll miss a whole season. So I'm ready to plant wheat and barley if I have room, and the canola, which I believe I've already... it's nighttime. So then that happens. And so then what I do is I toggle over to the closest thing to the house, which is this thing. And I just run over, follow the lights, run over. Now, if I'm close on time and if I sleep, it's going to change the season. You don't want to do that. Because sometimes that one day if you're on your last day of the month, it'll push you to the next month and it's too late and you've missed a whole season, and so you have to work, not a whole season, a whole season of planting, and you have to, like, for example, it is September 1st now, and I did exactly what I was just talking about. It is now a new month, so if I still had canola to harvest, I could not harvest it because you can't harvest it in September. Luckily, all my canola was out here, and it's already been harvested. So this was canola, and I'm in the middle of putting down some lime. So it's just constant. It's constant. And so there was some canola here as well. It should say, this was wheat. I'm not sure what was the other one. That was canola. So just constant process of taking care of your fields, and even though I have the money, it hasn't changed the gameplay for me at all. It's just nice that now I can have some of the toys. I can have the better tractors. I can have some of the cars. And any of the equipment I want, I can have, which is really awesome. And at some point, like this tractor I just bought, I was doing all John Deere tractors, but I'm like, well, I ran out of that. So I need to branch out and not be so loyal to one brand and try. I'm not a farmer. And try other tractors. There's some weird tractors with tracks and all kinds of stuff. I might as well try those. So, and then I may want to branch out. If I do buy that lot over there, maybe I need to plant something different until I've tried every crop. And so, there's a lot of other things, and I'll show you what they are. So wheat, barley, oat, canola, sorghum, grapes, olives, sunflowers, soybeans, corn, potatoes, sugar beets, sugar beet cut, cotton, sugarcane, seeds, eggs, wool, milk. I don't know what total mixed ration is. Wood chips, silage, wood, grass, hay, straw, diesel, road salt, flour. These are all just goods. Bread, cake, butter. And by the way, you can make those things. If you take all the ingredients to the bakery, you can make more money when they can make cake or bread out of it because you've delivered all the things to them: fabric, clothes, sugar, honey, cereal, sunflower oil. You don't think there's enough to do in this game? So am I ready to buy FarmSim22 because it comes out in a week or so? I don't think so. I haven't done a fraction of these things. Look at all this. You can make staircase railings. I didn't know that. Prickly pear cactus. What? So there's just so much to do. And maybe because I just discovered the game, which I tend to do, discover them a couple years late. I have so much to do. I have no reason to buy something new until I've pretty much tried everything in this game, which I think is going to take me a couple years to really to do it. So anyway, that's just an update on the John's Farm. If you haven't picked it up, FarmSim22. At this point, maybe it would be better just to wait a week and get FarmSim25. But my advice and opinion would be, I bet the price of this is going to drop quite a bit. And just wait until FarmSim25. See if you like this one, and then wait until FarmSim25 drops from the $50 or whatever to something like 29 or 19 down the road. So it's my last comment is it's a lot more fun than it looks. It's just a management game that puts you on the ground, and you are in charge of your own little farm, and it's all so fun. So thanks for joining me. I got work to do, man. I got to stop talking and get back to work. I'll catch you next time. For this episode, however, Mr. Johns is out.